fully about it, that's what made him get away from it.
Right.
So
you kind of like, so you kind of like me then, Greedy. Like I was born in it. I can't knock that, but I learned how to read the book for what it is, and it's allegory. It's not no savior coming, no none of that. But I respect the book because it saved a bunch of people, and we can attest that it saved a bunch of people because they believed in it. Point blank. That's how I roll.
Yeah, that's what makes it the we did a live stream on that too, me and the brother Nasir, the noble lie.
Yes, sir.
It's a noble lie. Even though it's a lie, or it's constructed off lies or plagiarism, because the Bible is plagiarism basically. Ain't nothing original about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a bunch of stories that has been rewrote from other stories that predated it.
I think a lot of the New Testament is new. Now the Torah, the Tanakh, yes. I will say a bunch of plagiarism went on with the Torah and the Tanakh, even with the Quran. You know what I mean? Even with the Quran, before you get the Hadiths. I mean, before you get the Hadiths. The Surahs, we can say that too. You know what I mean? But I think the New Testament, go ahead, bro. My bad.
Brother, it's all, beloved, a bunch of he said, she said, because if you look at the narrative, it is not the so-called creator talking. Everyone's giving their testimony of what God said. God didn't say a thing in it.
That's facts.
In none of the books.
Big fact.
Didn't say a word
That's
in it.
Big fact.
You know what I'm saying? It's always, even when it comes to the hadith of Prophet Muhammad, that's coming from the companion of Prophet Muhammad.
Right.
With the hadiths.
Right.
So, it's he said.
Right, right.
Well, mostly he said. They don't give a woman a damn voice.
Yeah. And I be also hearing people be mixing in the Talmud with different with things, and they don't even understand what the Talmud is. You know what I mean? And they be throwing the Talmud in there too, man. It's like, boy, listen, man, when you study religion and you trace religion, you will get a bunch of history. Religion by itself will give you a history course. Big facts.
Talmud is the justification of evil.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Talmud is. A justification.
And that's what most of your extremist Islamic faith or your extremist Christians roll off of the Talmud. Big facts.
It's like what you call it, Judeo-Christian, doctrine. That's what it is. That's what it is. But let us get back to this. Let's get back to this. Well, go ahead, my brother.
Go ahead. Good bill. No, good bill. I just want to tell y'all, brothers, good bill. Go ahead.
Appreciate it.
Somebody else I think somebody else is coming up. I know I heard the brother OG Philly's coming up. Add him to the fold. Salute my brother Big Dog Philly OG. Thanks for coming through, my brother.
My OG. Peace and love, my OG.
Peace and love, brother Nasir, brother OTK, brother Greedy. I just tapped in, see y'all rebroadcasting, but y'all live, so I said, let me tap in with you, brother. It's always love and respect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, brother. Love and respect, brother. We're going on. We, you know how sometimes OG, we've been drilling things in the family's head and they don't get it. Sometimes you got to rebroadcast, brother, and circle back, brother.
I definitely agree to that. Yes, sir. Big fact.
Got to circle back, brother, and that's what we're doing this evening, brother. Circling back, because I know you are a major brother who always talk about our people being indoctrinated, and we have to get our people out of indoctrination. So that's why we're circling back, brother, especially with our conversation earlier, brother.
And it's mainly rooted in the fundamentals of of what indoctrination is.
Yes,
because
sir.
you hear many people say someone else is indoctrinated, but ultimately they're indoctrinated themselves. It's just that they have a different choice of an indoctrination. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically getting the fundamentals out on basically what indoctrination is and what it consists of.
Exactly.
Because it's definitely levels. It's definitely levels of that. It's levels. One level was religion, and the next level was on some other. You know what I mean? It's like multi-levels of that. So I'm glad y'all did that. You know what I mean? Because it's a multi-level word. Big fact when it come to us over here. It's definitely a multi-level word.
They don't understand they are indoctrinated because it's like this. You don't believe in this because you believe in that.
Right.
You're indoctrinated too.
Right.
You just don't believe what the person who
Big
you
fact.
consider indoctrinated. You don't say,
Yes,
you know what I mean? You don't believe in this because you believe in that.
Right.
And I wanted to tap in with that mythology. From my research, like I always point out, none of that from the Dead Sea Scrolls to the New Testament, Old Testament, King James, none of it. The Quran, I ain't leaving none of it out. It all based on mythology that cannot be proven, and we try to act like it can be proven, but no. The people, places, and things that happen is someone's imagination, and they wrote it down and said it's real. But no, they cannot prove from the Garden of Eden where that was to the Prophet Muhammad so-called existed, and the reality
Not
we
all
live
of
in.
it. Not all of it is myth. A lot of this is passed down stories, which was the first
And
level
if you
of
go into the
communication.
meaning of folklore,
It was
brother,
folk
none of
tales.
that can
Right.
be proven real.
But
It's just
we have
But
passed down as word that it happened, but most of it is based on
right.
mythology and folklore, which cannot be proven
So,
happened or is
but
real.
hold up
And
though.
I'm a land.
Both of those definitions contain things that can be true. Myth and folklore. If you look at the definition, both of them will tell you that yes, some things within a myth or folklore can be true. They just exaggerate the story.
it's exaggerated and all. That's why you shouldn't add or take away
Big
from a teaching.
facts.
You shouldn't add or take away from a teaching. But listen, let us not get sidetracked because indoctrination is not exclusive to religion. We broke this down all the way. Not
Big
just
facts.
dealing with
It's not.
religion. Just all I'm telling you to do, brother, is listen to how we broke it down. It's not all about religion. You can be indoctrinated in many ways. It's in doctrine, nation. Okay, just
Big
break the
facts.
words down. Break the word. We're breaking these words down. Indoctrination.
Right. Flat Earth. Flat Earth is indoctrination.
By definition, and we did it. I think we did our job when it came to breaking this down. Just listen, brother. Nails so it moved not, and they decked it with silver and with gold.
Right.
Jeremiah speaks against that, and it said they decked it with silver and with gold. They don't say, well, Jeremiah is right. Let us not do this. They turn around and write a damn song called Deck the Halls with Bowser High. They're going to deck the whole hall, brother. Bowser Holly, brother. the olive reef, brother. You know, and if you go into some of the we're gonna get off religion because we're not only indoctrinated through religion.
Religion.
We're
Right.
indoctrinated a whole bunch of ways.
Yes, sir.
A whole bunch of ways. Because we have to when it comes to us knowing who we are, once we establish that, we have to do something as who we are instead
Right.
of we on a daily basis. And I hear a lot of conversations revisited, listening to our brothers and our sisters, in dialogue especially when they're debating. I hear a lot of the conversation, revisited. And that to me takes away from us getting to work.
Right.
We need to get to work and do something as who we are. And we can't deem someone indoctrinated. If indoctrination is based on beliefs that is taught to us and we accept the beliefs uncritically, we have to think of some of the other things that we believe.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't believe this, because we believe that.
Yes, sir.
That's I mean, because when we don't know we don't know these things emphatically, because belief comes from not knowing.
Right.
That's what belief comes from, not knowing. And when
Yeah.
you can show someone emphatically that you know, and then if that person question you and you are able to explain it to them, because understanding to me is the best part. Understanding.
Hmm. As you
Because
said, brother, the indoctrination can be so, how I want to say it, it can cover so many areas of what you're speaking on. Like with one either believing this and the next one believing that, it kind of like, well, some people will look at it in a sense where, well, who's right, or who got the truth, when possibly both of them is just simply believing something. It's just different beliefs.
exactly.
Because no one has it emphatically. So, like that covers a whole area of knowledge of self when you look at it on its broad perspective. That's all the way down to identity. As you said, when you hear the brothers and the sisters conversate daily on these dialogues, on these panels, on these channels, on these open forums, dealing with identity and who we are as a people and stuff like that, these questions shouldn't even come about, because you should know who you is through the oral history of your family.
Yes, sir.
So these questions shouldn't come about, but the only reason that they are about and are abroad the way that they are is simply because people have been indoctrinated to the core, and they believe in so many other things of what someone told them who they are, outside of what the oral history can say and substantiate.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. And then people feel the right to tell people who they are.
Right.
You don't know what that young man or young lady was told by their people
Right.
of who they are. And it's a matter of, peace to the brother, woke is the new sleep. Shawanda Williams, the sister Shawanda Williams, and the comrade T. Wriggles and just another Geechee. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon.
Woke Sister Shawanda, what's happening? Just another Geechee.
And a lot of
you say T. Wriggles, man. Peace and bro, T. Wriggles, man. Shout out to Cover.
And a lot of times it's a matter of respect also. You know, when it comes to dealing with other people's with identity. A lot of times it's about respect also.
Right.
As per the conversation we had the other day, you know, you can't base things on your feelings because it has nothing to do with feelings, because the truth don't give a damn about feelings, for one.
Right.
It could withstand your criticism and your ridicule and still be the truth if it's the truth.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of people will say, well, I don't believe that. Use that word believe again. And my answer to that is so what? You don't have to believe it. That's not going to stop it from being the truth.
And what is that ultimately saying? That you don't believe that means you believe something else.
Exactly. Back to the word belief. Back to the word belief. I don't get into those arguments because I'm too mature, for one. Because if you don't believe it, you don't have to. You got a right to not to. Like I got a right to believe it or accept it. Because they use the word accept also in indoctrination. The word accept is in the word indoctrination also as a definition. So it says the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically.
You just said the key word, to accept a set of beliefs.
A set of beliefs. When they said a set, it's like more than one, brother. You don't believe in this because you believe in that.
Right.
Regardless to what sides you are on. It says teaching, instruction, methods that were approved for indoctrination in divinity. Now, let me see. What does indoctrination mean in simple terms?
And right away, we know we can establish that in order for someone to be indoctrinated, it requires beliefs, because you can't indoctrinate somebody with the truth.
No, you can't.
You can't indoctrinate somebody with the truth, because the truth don't require belief. The truth is substantiated for what it is because the evidence proves it as such.
Exactly. Truth has evidence. Indoctrination has beliefs.
Right. So in order for someone to be indoctrinated, that means that they are mixed up or caught up in a belief, first and foremost.
It's indoctrination means teaching someone to accept a set of beliefs, ideas, or principles uncritically, without questioning them, often to promote a specific political, religious, or ideological viewpoint.
See, that's what I'm saying. It covers all bases. It engulfs all of that, man. Everything to what someone think that they know of themselves, of the world, of history, and even of their spirituality.
My brother Greedy, if you want me to pause it and tap in, just let me know, brother. Just tell me to pause.
All right, bro. I'm listening. We're going in on this one and shit, bro. I'm just listening like, God damn.
Yes, sir. I know we listening to ourselves, but but if you want to tap in, let me know, brother.
Okay, bro.
Yes, sir.
It's all a set of beliefs that was given to them by the powers that be.
It's about instilling doctrines until they are accepted as truth, often discouraging independent thought.
Right.
And it's frequently associated with negative connotations of brainwashing or biased instruction.
Yes, sir. See, we getting to the nitty gritty of this shit now because it all makes sense. You know, I've been saying this for the longest. You know, the information is what, how I want to say this. It's what most people say that they are doing it for. They're doing it because they want to learn. They want to free themselves. You know what I'm saying? They want to you know, I mean, in other words, we want the revolution to kick off. You see what I'm saying? Like we want to dismantle the system, but they're doing it in a way where they're using what the system has given them to indoctrinate them, to where they're using it as it's like beneficial to them to free themselves to get to the revolution.
Yes, sir. The 7 elements of indoctrination, often seen in cults, involve a crossroads, vulnerability, a soft sell, gentle recruitment, creating a new reality, isolation, new beliefs, adoration of a dear leader, identifying an enemy, using peer pressure, and discouraging critical thinking, all leading to dependence and self-sealing system. And that's what indoctrination is, brother. Emphasis on nation. Emphasis.
That's the masses of people, bro.
Exactly. The masses. Take the M for masses, what you got. You gotta ask.
Hey, brother, pause it right quick, brother Nasir. Good brother.
What's that, brother? Yes, sir.
That segment that you had just broke down, I would say even one in their indoctrination can start to create or form new beliefs.
Yes, sir.
Like, this is what I'm explaining to you. You know, like this is what I was trying to explain to the brother earlier, the brother I am, and I've been trying to explain this shit to people for the, you know, even out in the real world for the longest, that, you know, you have an initial indoctrination that took place. You have an initial one, and you know, it was like the very first, it was like the conception of when the indoctrination started in your life, in your mind.
Exactly.
When one starts to be taught something, whether if it was by mom, dad, grandmoms, granddad, you know, uncle, whoever raising them, teach them certain things, and they, you know, it becomes like law. It started off as like a law because the authority in your life is the one who's giving it to you.
Exactly.
The authority is the one who's giving it to you. So it started off early as like a law. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, the child ain't at liberty to question it. As the child grow older, may start to question it, but by then, the indoctrination is already set. You see what I'm saying? It has already been conceptualized in one's mind. So you know, the journey starts for that one to deconstruct from the initial conception of the indoctrination, and that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part. That's how you see people step away from the church. Like they find fault in the pastor, they find fault in the many different denominations, they find fault in people's hypocrisies and stuff like that, but they never seem to find fault in the writings or the source of it. You see what I'm saying? Because the indoctrination has already been conceptualized there. It's like it had a birthplace, it had a birth point in one's mind, and it's hard to deconstruct from that point on. So you'll hear people say like you just said, someone will start to take their former indoctrination or the original one and start to logically see through that one, and then instead of them starting from ground zero and starting to deconstruct from it all, they they start to create new versions of it. They start to put their own emotions and their own thoughts and their own reasoning behind it. And that's how you get one talking about, I believe in God, but it's just not the God of the Bible. Or I believe that there is a creator. It's just, what I'm saying? It's the communication, or it's on a spiritual level. You see what I'm saying? Because the indoctrination has already been implanted and shit. You know what I'm saying? The very conception of one being taught that there is a creator, that there is this God, you know what I'm saying? This imaginary figure, this imaginary being, this unknowing and all-powerful being that's responsible for everything. It is very hard to deconstruct and get away from that, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree wholeheartedly. As per our conversation earlier, we were trying to teach the young brother earlier. Somebody has an echo. You have something open on your end, brother?
I ain't got nothing open, but let me mute my mic though, bro. Let me mute.
Yes, sir. But as per our conversation earlier, with the young brother, you explained everything that about the conversation. Especially when you said new beliefs, because he said he doesn't subscribe to the Old Testament, he subscribed to the New Testament, and then when we speak to him today, he don't rock with any of it, and he don't even have a name for the God that he say that he worship, and he don't even have a text from the God that he said he worship. And like I asked him, I said, so are you running around here, in the wilderness of North America with no instructions from your God? All religious persuasion had some type of instructions, and this person don't even have a name that he said he worshiped. Don't even have a name, brother. That's just, that was hard to, it wasn't hard to get through. He's young, and at least he has manners, he has manners, but that was just hard to deal with, brother.
Right. I still echo.
No, I was echoing, not you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. But that's what it is, though. Yeah, he's still young. He still got a lot to learn, even though, like I was saying, it's very difficult for even us, ones who are older than him. And, and I'm going to tell you something, too, and shit, bro. This is the thing I'm starting to realize, too, bro. Like, brothers and elders, who have logically came to their senses, have, I like to say, have got their minds back. You know what I'm saying? Started thinking for themselves again. Once you start to realize that you've been indoctrinated, you know what I'm saying? You realize that you've been deceived and stuff like that. And you try to, explain that to somebody else who you can clearly see that they are highly indoctrinated. And you try to explain it to them and shit. It's like you're talking to someone who's full of ego. I've noticed that the indoctrination and shit, like, kind of puts on it's ego driven. I would say, yeah, it's ego driven. It's one into this mind frame where they feel they got all the answers, or if they don't got all the answers, they got the answers that needs to be. See what I'm saying? Like, they got this understanding or this knowledge.
Yeah, that holier than thou
to everybody. Yeah,
yes,
this is gonna be everybody this here, and once it starts to be questioned, as to be questioned, and it's one ego driven shit. He or she can no longer learn. Ain't no learning for them from that point. It's always a teaching. They got to be the ones that gotta teach you what it is Shit, this is it right here. Shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the indoctrination even shows you and shit that it makes even the one who thinks they wise is a complete fool.
A wise fool, brother.
Is a complete fool and shit, bro. Trying to explain some shit that it just logically can't be explained and shit, man. You know, it requires the belief that is attached to the indoctrination in order for it to be real to someone. You know, this is some of the hardest things I've been trying to explain to people as well, bro. Like, your mind is it's like you giving your belief power. It's like you giving it legs to walk on and shit. You know, without you believing in it, it'll disappear. It's no longer in your mind and shit. It may remain in somebody else's, but it's no longer yours. So
Exactly.
being that you keep giving your mind to it, you keep giving it energy, you making it real to yourself. This is a choice that you keep choosing to do, and you're doing it unknowingly and unawarely because you haven't been aware, or you haven't observed yourself good enough to see where you've been indoctrinated at. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
You know, it's like, brother, you know, you're making the God powerful and putting the God in power over you. You know, it's, again, there's not a God that ever existed, whatever name he's called by, that man didn't create and give him its name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, indoctrination, brother, is something that we have to get out of. Because the reason why I say that is because you take power from yourself. Brother said source of power. You know what I'm saying? If that source of power, if you don't see any power displayed, there is no source of power.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And when we decide that, every time that we decided that we've had enough with something and we wanted to affect change, we intervene in our affairs, right? And we affect change. That's a source of power.
Right.
It's not outside of ourselves, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you're waiting, you are going to go to your grave waiting.
Right.
Your last breath will be waiting, and you will be gone, and those who you left here will be waiting. And guess what? They'll be waiting. They'll be waiting to go to the grave right with you.
Waiting patient too, bro.
Waiting patiently, brother. And it takes away from us, you know, having fortitude and doing something about our situations and our you know, our condition. Why? Because we're looking outward. You know what I'm saying? We're looking outward. I always say you got to look inward to get rid of that inward. You know what I'm saying? You got to look inward to get rid of that inward. To get that God, brother, you are that God. So you gotta look inward to get rid of the inward and become the God that you've been waiting for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bro.
The process often begins when a person is going through a life transition. You were saying something, brother?
No, I was agreeing with you, bro. I was just saying, bro, I realized that it is very difficult, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Yes.
Like, I talk to people in real time, bro. Elders, you know, people, you know, got me about 20, 30 years and shit, you know, and explaining to me how certain things in their mind is real to them. And I'm trying to figure it out, like, man, like, how have you been experiencing life this long, but you still have that imagination of a child? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that's,
you
that's
don't grow out of that at one point. Like that ain't something that I mean, I think I feel I may be wrong, but I feel like, at some point, as an adult, you're supposed to grow out of that.
brother.
Right.
It even says in that scripture, brother. When a boy becomes a man, he leaves childhood things behind him. Even says that in that scripture, but people can't get out of indoctrination. And the reason why, I think we said it in this, brother, but I'm gonna say it anyway. There's no requirement, brother, of doing anything when you're waiting. There's no requirement for you to do nothing when all you have to do is wait. Because somebody else is going to handle it. It's like when people are experiencing some type of oppression or or going through something, somebody did something to them, victimized them, and somebody, the ignorant among our people, would say, just put it in the hand of the Lord.
Yeah, or pray about it, pray on it.
Or pray when we are preyed upon, and it's like, if we want our people to be free, it's not going to be anyone or anything outside of ourselves. It's going to require us to do it. That's what it's going to require, us to do it.
That's what I'm saying and shit, bro. Like, that's how you know the indoctrination is real, because it has always been that. You know what I'm saying? Even your ancestors showed you that. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole reason that you marvel at your ancestors today, because of their
Yes,
achievements, because of what they achieved, because of
exactly.
the actions. You know what I'm saying? The work that they put in. Shit, you see what I'm saying? Like, we is and shit, living in a generation and shit where that requires, like you said, no action, requires no achievements and shit. We just a faith-based generation. You know what I'm saying? Where the majority of us is letting go and letting God.
If we want to affect change, positive change in our people, it's going to require us to get up and do something. I know people who are of the faithful, very faithful, one by one left here. Just one by one just left here. Mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, aunties, one by one just left here. And as a people, if we are going to suffice, it's going to take us on a collective effort to do something about our condition. If we don't, our condition is going to remain, because first, there's no benevolent politician or anyone else who's going to contribute to our salvation, because we have to salvage ourselves. If not, if we don't do it ourselves, nobody else going to do it. That's just it. Everything about us is up to us.
Right.
It's up to us to get ourselves out the condition that we may be in. It's up to us. If we're in a certain condition and predicament, it's going to be up to us to get it out, because we can't look to them. We can't look to the enemy of our people to get us out. Not the ones who put us in the condition to get us out of it. It's not going to happen. I've been around 60 years, brother, and I just don't see no benevolent person outside of ourselves going to do anything for us. Who going to put themselves and their people on their line to do something for us, to change and affect positive change in our condition? Not one.
Right.
Not one, brother.
Right.
So it's up to us and only us.
Exactly, brother.
That's it.
Exactly, brother. And you made a key point when you say
open.
You made a key point when you say you can't expect your enemy to help you get yourself in order and shit. You see what I'm saying? So you have to generalize that on all levels. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't expect none of the information that you have received from your enemy to be beneficial to you.
You have to reject everything that your enemy offered you, brother.
Everything, bro. You got to give it all back, brother. Everything.
You got to reject everything they offer you, because they're not going to give you nothing to free you.
Right.
Nothing. Because
Nothing.
they put you in a condition anyway. Why would they give you something to free you? Nothing.
And dude, it's so fucking simple and shit, man. It's like just when we was doing this and we started this and shit, bro, this indoctrination series, bro, I already known that it was gonna be like whistling in the air, man. Like whistling, just a whistle in the world, man. And in this huge world, it's gonna be like a whistle and shit that only whoever close or the few that's close can hear, bro. Like, real talk, man, because this, man, dude, the people have been hit, man. Like, they don't realize where the indoctrination starts. They don't realize where it's starting, bro. They still to this day and shit, man, you got people turning Jesus and Muhammad black. You know what I'm saying? They justifying means of enslavement and belittling and degrading of women. You see what I'm saying? All due to these beliefs and stuff like that, bro. That has never been proven to no one. It was a belief in the ancient world or the old days, whenever it was created, and it's a belief now. You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, it has never been proven as such. The very deities that give out the blueprint on how these people who believe on how they should live their lives, the moral code that they should live by, that same deity they believe in ain't never appeared to them and told them shit. Ain't never appeared to them and instructed them on anything and shit, bro. They believe on what the writings or the text or what the past is saying, and they believe the hearsay. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you have people to this day, man, especially Negroes in this country, man, who is, very aware of how the Christianity was used and the Bible. Let's not separate, because this is what they like to do. They like to separate Christianity from the Bible. They like to say, well, the religion ain't the Bible. Well, let's look at it this way. You won't be able to create a religion without the Bible. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm saying? If it never was no writings of it, you wouldn't have been able to create a religion off of it. You see what I'm saying? But they like to separate the Bible from the Christianity or the Jehovah Witnessism or you know, the baptisms, and you know, all these different denominations. You know what I'm saying? Even the Muslim would tell you and shit. You know that this is not a religion. You know what I'm saying? This is my way of life. You see, you see what I'm saying? This is the word of Allah. They like to separate these things, but at the same time and shit, bro, it has never been proven to no one and shit, man. No one. When you look up the definition of the word truth, it's telling you and shit, man, anything that is proven as such with substantial evidence.
Evidence. Because to say something and not be able to prove it with substantial evidence make you weak and ineffective.
And we know the history of these religions, man. We know that the origins of these religions and shit, bro, got violent origins, bro. Forced on people by the sword, invasions and pillaging of lands and shit like that. Chosen people complex.
Yes.
And God favored me, and you are the fucking stranger, or you're the heathen and shit, which ain't nothing but division and separation and disunity right away. And people talking about they living with a moral code, man.
Going on right now, brother, and it's been going on for so long, you know, using, you know, scriptures and text as a justification to say, okay, our people are the chosen people, and we have the right to kill you because our people are chosen. We got a right to do this. We got a right to this. We got a right to this land. We got a right to this. We got a right to that because we are the chosen people. And some people even will actually repeat that narrative, brother, like that's some type of truth. And you know, I asked a question earlier. I think you asked a question too, brother, on the stream we was on. Why would any of us want to be involved in indoctrination that, okay, the wicked will get the same reward as the righteous?
Right.
God loves everybody. Everybody don't rock with that doctrine, but you got people that say God loves everybody. And then they will attempt. I'm gonna say this, brother. A lot of time religion makes you take your guard down, because a lot of people say, what would Jesus do? And they teach you about a Jesus that's meek, weak, and love everybody.
Right.
That's a Jesus that's taught in the church. Meek, weak, and love everybody. And
right.
If you love everybody, I really don't want you around me. Not if you love everybody. That means you love my enemy too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, we can't have that.
And you know, bro, it's like I was saying, bro, from the origins of it all and shit, man, the historicity, there's a bunch of red flags. You see what I'm saying? Even how Negroes even got their hands on the Bible. You see what I'm saying? It's red flag. You see what I'm saying? Through enslavement, through what they call the Negro slave Bibles and shit like that, where they taught everybody to, to turn the other cheek and slaves obey your earthly masters and all this types of shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's right there in your face, showing you that it is a teaching that the powers of be constructed way back when and used and still have been using to go to war and take over and conquer people's lands and shit. You see what I'm saying? Claiming that they are the people of God and you are the so-called heathen, or you the motherfucker who's supposed to be going to this perpetual servitude or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? You're the one who prophesied to be enslaved or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? All in this fucking God shit. You Negroes wouldn't have no even concept of this God or no Jesus Christ if your ancestors wasn't never prisoners of war.
It was and pushed to the reverence, that indoctrination was pushed to the reverence in the theological seminaries and they are taught to go out and teach that certain doctrine, teach inferiority doctrine to our people, and teach us to be meek, and obey our worldly masters. And because we would get our reward, when we go to glory. While they build a heaven on earth.
Exactly. That's what the teaching is about. That's how you know it's a slave teaching, bro. It's a teaching for the slaves. The people in power don't believe that shit. It's only the ones who suffering, the ones who believe that, bro.
And then are taught to suffer peacefully.
Yeah, suffer peacefully and shit. Because your Lord and Savior, because your Lord and Savior was long suffering.
Yeah, exactly. What would Jesus do? That type of thing.
Yeah. Man, this shit is crystal clear to me and shit, bro. I don't see why people can't see through this shit, man.
And then clear to me. Sing to get over it. You know what I'm saying? Sing to get over it. To give you faith that something that a change is gonna come. What the brother's saying, Sam Cooke. He's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come.
Right.
That's those type of songs.
Yes, sir.
He was born on a river by a low fence, something, the beautiful song though. I'm not gonna knock that. Beautiful song. But
it was inspired.
I would write a song. I would write a song that that suggests that we get up and do something. Like I'm more with Curtis Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get up, get up, you know what I'm saying? I'm more with that. What Curtis Mayfield said. Because it's not gonna happen unless we do it. Want me to stop, brother? Let me know. I'm about to play the build again.
All right, I'm gonna say this before you start.
Ideals seeking belonging.
Yes, sir, brother.
It's tradition, bro. It's tradition, bro. That's what it all becomes. That's what it comes down to. It's tradition, bro. It's something that our ancestors picked up when they were prisoners of war, and it became a traditional upbringing in the household. It was a feel-good tool and shit like that, and it still is to this day, bro. It still is and shit. You got brothers trying to dig deep and come up with newer or what they call profound or esoteric interpretations or revelations of what the text is saying, but the overall message don't change and shit. The overall message of the text don't change and shit. If you are to believe, you are to be the one who's suffering in some type of cursed state. You see what I'm saying? Waiting on the Lord to come in return, or waiting on the Lord to come and change the world, or change your condition, or transform you into a new being, or however it's been interpreted into you, but the message still the same. You're the one that's suffering and the one that's waiting. But the powers that be, they moving and grooving, and that's the regular scheduled program. You got it.
Yes, sir. And then when you want people to suffer peacefully, okay, you would tell people who you want to suffer peacefully and to continue to suffer that undeserved suffering is redemptive. You would say that suffer now and you will be redeemed later. That's what people are taught. And that's why a lot of our people suffered and didn't fight back, because they thought there was a reward in suffering.
Right.
Malcolm taught on that, brother, about suffering peacefully, as if you are shot with Novocaine and it numbs you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Malcolm taught on that very eloquently, brother, about suffering peacefully as if you were shot with Novocaine. You can't feel the pain because you were shot with something that makes you feel like, you know, that you're going to be redeemed for suffering so much. And anybody teach you that's your enemy.
Right.
Malcolm taught us to, you know, to even get out of you know, suffering and take it and see it for what it is. There's no such thing as suffering peacefully, brother. But they teach us that undeserved suffering is redemptive. We'll get our reward, you know, later after we die. Yeah,
later is greater. Later is greater mentality.
Yes, sir. That's what they teach, brother.
Oh man,
that's got me. I mean, bro, we see it all the time, brother. Some people try what they say, get in where they fit in, and want to belong to something.
Exactly, and that's also explaining in a sense how people go from one denomination to another, or from one religion to another, or from one identity to another.
Yes, sir.
Because they're vulnerable and they're open, and they just got to be attached to something, because that's how, like you said, it's a system. The indoctrination creates a system in mentally.
Yes.
That it twists and twarps the minds of people, the masses. It has them thinking that they has to be attached to something.
That's why I said masses turn to asses, because they want to be led. Because they want to be led. The masses turn into asses. Because they want to be led, brother. They feel they have to be led.
Hey, bro.
Number 2 is a soft sell. Recruiters build rapport and lower defenses with friendly, gentle approaches, creating a welcome atmosphere. See the time, brother. They recruit their rapport, lower the defenses with friendly, gentle approaches, recreating a welcoming atmosphere.
And dude, the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes, sir.
Like Michael Jackson said, "You've been hit by. You've been hit by."
Yes, a smooth criminal, brother.
A smooth criminal.
And then they want a new reality. You know what I'm saying? And that's slashed with isolation. Members are encouraged to adopt a new worldview, often by cutting off outside influences, books, media, old friends, to create a self-sealing environment. You ever see somebody get involved in some in an organization, and you was cool with them, you was cool with them at one time, and all of a sudden you were like, damn, this brother is, you know, it's like when you see somebody pledging for a sorority or a fraternity, and they in line pledging, and they don't even speak to you when they in line, because the fraternity, the frat brother or the frat sister told them to not say nothing.
Yeah.
So they in line not saying nothing. You speaking to them, they were told not to say nothing. Which brings us to the dear leader. A charismatic leader becomes the central focus, viewed as the sole source of wisdom, fostering loyalty and dependence. That's like,
dude, that junk, man.
That right there, bro.
It's explaining everything and shit, bro. The education system, the church,
Yes.
the mosque, man, it's like explaining it all, man. The teacher, from the principal to the teacher.
Yes, sir.
Everything.
And then you gotta, if you have the dear leader, you gotta have the enemy. An external us versus them mentality is created, uniting the group against a common threat or societal norms, justifying the group's extreme views. Meaning,
and see, the thing about it is that they through the propaganda and through the brainwashing, they remove the lens of them being the true enemy and put somebody else in your peripherals to be your enemy.
Yes. Yes. Us versus them, brother, mentality. Again, that's created. Unite a group against a common threat or societal norms, justifying the group's extreme views. And like you said, oftentimes the enemy is closer than you damn think.
Right.
Got you looking, you know, outside of yourself as an enemy, when a lot of times the enemy is outside and inside. You just gotta, know how to distinguish. Just gotta know how to distinguish. And then we got peer pressure, the strong human need to belong. It's exploited. A lot of people want to belong.
It's almost like I'm gonna say this real quick. It's almost like the puppet master got all of the puppets on the string warring amongst each other. They can't figure out that the puppet master is the one who's doing.
Yep. You got the string puppet and you got the sock puppet. The string puppet decides what you do. You know, saying the moves you make. They got the strings, and the sock puppet they decide what you say. And you got people who are both. You got people who are string puppets and sock puppets. They go what they want them to go, do what they want them to do, and say what they want them to say. It's a string puppet and a sock puppet. Now, when you have the strong human need to belong, when that's exploited, that's when you have, our language we use, brother, that look at me as nigga, attention whoring, and wanting to belong, even if it's serving to your damn detriment.
Right.
And then members conform to a group of beliefs, even if they contradict their own perceptions as shown, you know what I'm saying, by comfortability experiments. Some people can see that it's serving to their own detriment.
Right.
But they want to belong. So they are, so they are discouraged to think critically. Remember the word they said uncritically. And because they have this soft sell, recruiters, lower defense with friendly, gentle approaches, creating a welcoming atmosphere, you'll have doubts suppressed. And questioning the leader or ideology is discouraged. Sometimes through repetition or created internal conflict, cognitive dissonance that reinforces commitment.
Right.
That's broken down, brother, to the very last compound, brother.
Yes, sir, bro.
That's broken down, brother.
Yes, sir, bro.
It's broken down. Now, they have emotional manipulation. An example of indoctrination is the historical Hitler Youth, of course. That's an example of it. Another word for indoctrination is a synonym. A synonym. Words that are synonymous to indoctrination include brainwashing, inculcation, conditioning, instruction, training, propaganda, installation, imbuement, and drilling. You know, they say drilling into your head, repetition, drilling
Yes,
into your
sir.
head. You know what I'm saying? Brainwash, inculation, conditioning,
Propaganda.
propaganda, instilling, installation, instill. You know what they say? They instill something in you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
it's
sir.
a systematic teaching of beliefs or principles again, and it's taken and it's accepted uncritically.
And you know the instilled part, you know, that everything starts from a teaching.
Yes.
You were saying something, brother? You were saying
Now,
something to come right.
nah, bro, but this, bro, this, man, dude, this junk, man, we may have to do a part 2 to this, man.
Yes,
We may
sir.
have to
Yes,
do
sir.
a part 2 to this joint and shit, bro, because, bro, like everything just appears to be crystal clear to me and shit, man. I just think that we just got to continue, man, to get that, to get it, you know, like you said, we got to drill it into their heads of how much they've been indoctrinated and shit, because that's how much it's going to take.
Yeah, we got to drill it, brother. I mean,
That's how much it's going to take, bro.
Because, you know, if indoctrination is drilled into the people's head, like repetitiously, that means that we are going to have, we got work to do. That's all that means.
Yes, sir.
Counter.
Yes, sir.
We got to counter it.
And we got to be able to show the evidence, which makes it the truth, bro.
That's
You know,
exactly.
and like, bro, it's like the synonyms for indoctrination that we had just, that you had just broke down when we was going through that, bro. Propaganda, instilling, installation, submission. You see what I'm saying? Like all of this shit, bro. It's like you could look at this shit existing in the world today and shit, bro. Like on all levels, even the education system and shit, man. You got people actually believing, indoctrinized, you know, believing in evolution, believing that people came from great apes. You got people thinking that it was dinosaurs on this earth before. You got people thinking that that it's aliens out here, all kinds of stuff, man. People believing in religions. He's talking about angels and demons and stuff like that. All of these extraordinary supernatural claims and things that people believe in their minds, bro. And it's all being promoted through propaganda, bro, through like the TV, you know what I'm saying? Social media platforms, movies, Hollywood. Fucking like you said, the songs and shit, man. These people writing inspiration. They got gospel songs and shit out of here, man. You see what I'm saying? With people is, that's what I was saying earlier, how the mind itself is that powerful that it can take something that is totally false and create like a real image to it in the mind.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and then not only create something that, you know, like through regurgitation of constantly believing in it.
Repetition.
Yeah, repetitions of constantly believing in it and speaking on it, because you know even the tongue has power where you're speaking it into existence in your mind.
Exactly.
Your mind is creating images in it. You know, it's like, and then they're feeding you stuff through the eyesight and you know what I'm saying, and all that through the music, through the ear and stuff like that, in order to give it strength. Man, dude, you talking about we fighting a beast? Dude, this man, this is a beast that we're fighting and shit, bro.
Yes. If you know a sharp cat with wordplay, brother, who's witty, you know what I'm saying? They get a hold to indoctrination, brother, and you know, and they could repetitiously drill it into the people's head, brother. They built the dumb muscle, brother. They straight up built the dumb muscle.
Man.
Through reps, through repetition, brother, constantly. Because if you look at the programming is repetitious, brother. And what they're trying to indoctrinate our children in today, brother, is just, you know what I'm talking about, bro.
Yes, sir. what is it? Transhumanism.
Yeah, transhumanism and you know, alphabets.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? They try to, you know, that type of indoctrination, telling, you know, that's right. That's like tampering with the future when
Yeah.
they do that. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of work to do, brother. We have to counter this attack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, with you know, with the truth based on substantial evidence, as you eloquently put, it has to be based on. We're not saying what we believe, because the truth don't need nobody's validation, brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mine's, yours, or the next brother or sister don't need nobody's validation. They could not believe it all they want, but we're gonna give it to them. They could take it or let it alone. It don't matter. It don't matter. But we're gonna tell the truth based on substantial evidence. It's not going to be no hearsay. It's not going to be my words. It's going to be the truth. And we're going to point out some things. We do a better job than this, brother. I don't know.
I see it coming, this shit, bro, because I already told you I've been contemplating, bro. I've really been sitting back meditating on thinking about doing putting together a presentation, actually, not just a live stream, but actually like,
yes, sir,
get the information together and do like a presentation style type joint where I showed the historicity of what I discovered to help me start to deconstruct and get out of the Bible and away from religion and shit like that, which was how it all got into America. You see what I'm saying? Who was behind it? Who was pushing it? You know what I'm saying? How did the Bibles come to be? How, you know, who put it in the book format? All of that. How it was done? What year it was done? Who was the first people pushing it and promoting it? All of that. You see what I'm saying? I've been thinking about doing it, and I feel like you said, there's so much work to be done, bro. So it's like I feel like I ain't got no choice but to, and shit. I owe that to the people, bro. I owe it to them, because it needs to be out there and shit, man. And I'm really doing it for the youth and shit, man. I know a bunch of these old dogs ain't about learning no new tricks. It ain't that you can't teach them none. They just ain't about learning. They don't want to. You see what I'm saying? And it comes a time and a place, like we just were speaking on. Once the evidence is shown, there's no more room for belief. You know what I'm saying? It's up to those who have the strong will to accept the goddamn truth and start to deconstruct from the bullshit, man. For real. Exactly. And then so you can start leading your damn youth in you know what I'm saying, in a proper guidance and shit, man, instead of teaching them this fairy tale shit, man. Give them something which you know. Stop teaching them some belief shit.
It's like circling back, brother. You got to circle back and go back. All those who, you know, saying that are indoctrinated, or we may have taken part in indoctrinated. We got to circle back. Hold up, brother. Right. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hold up, brother. I got to tell you this. You know what I'm saying? I have to tell you this because I put you on a course to nowhere.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Good. So you know what I mean? So circling back, we have to circle back. Say, nah, I got to get you off that. I got to get you off that course to nowhere.
That's real, bro. That is real.
Gotta circle back, brother.
Yes, sir, bro. That is some real shit, bro. That's some of the most authentic shit one can say, bro. I know that I've played my part, and, you know, just being genuine, thinking that I'm doing a brother or sister, possibly a family, a good service on teaching them what I once believed in. You see what I'm saying? And now that I've deconstructed, or, you know, have continued to learn and not stay stagnant or complacent in what I once believed in, like you said, I owe it to them to at least provide evidence to show them on why I was able to, you know what I'm saying, to further my mind, you know what I'm saying, but I was able to, you know, to grow mentally and not stay stuck. And you know, because I ain't saying I'm completely out of the matrix and shit, but I'm definitely not stuck in a you know in a mentality to where I know that I gotta be a part of some shit. Nah, I'm starting to see all of this shit is shaky and shit, man. So I'm critically analyzing every damn thing.
Definite. I mean, you have to critically analyze everything, because you know when we know when we came to that fork in the road, we know what's down the pike, brother. Whether it's something or nothing, we have to tell the people what's down there and get them off the pike.
Right.
We got to get them off it, brother. You know, at least make an attempt, because we don't want to continue to lead our people down the road to nowhere, brother. When they think it's you know, it's a pot of gold at the end of the goddamn rainbow, and it ain't nothing, brother. It's nothing there.
No leprechauns, no gold, no
leprechaun, no nothing there, brother. We can't. We got to get our people, and we got to have our people. If we're gonna have a perception, brother, it should be based on reality.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Everything has to be based on reality. See, people don't understand when it comes to A and the. There's two different things. When it's a something, that means it's more than one. But when you have the something, there's nothing above the. You know what I'm saying? When you have the reality, as some people say, I'm living in my reality and my truth. No. Your truth can be a damn lie. You gotta get the truth. Nothing over when the is the definite article, brother. The.
Yes.
You don't want to be dealing with a. You don't want to be dealing with my, because that shit is subjective, and that shit is by perspective on how the individual sees something, and we can't deal with that. Because the truth, again, it could withstand criticism and ridicule and still be the truth.
Right.
Because it's been substantiated with evidence.
And that's real and shit, bro. We definitely gonna have to do a part 2 to this shit, bro. I'm gonna definitely be in contact with you, bro, so we can get this one going.
Brother, even sources gotta be questioned, because the source don't necessarily mean truth. It's just that person is a source.
Yeah, it's who the academia deems credible.
It's coming from. It's only the person who the academia or the information is coming from. We gotta check that. When people say source up, that don't mean a goddamn thing to me. It never did, bro.
Right, bro.
It never did. You know what I'm saying? Because your source could be at error.
Yes,
wrong,
sir.
Outright.
Yeah.
So we want the truth, brother. That's it.
That's it.
We want to tell people the truth. Not mine, not yours, and not nobody else's. The truth, brother. Based on substantiated evidence.
And we got to stop being lazy, scholarly and mentally, with just placing shit there, or just getting complacent with certain shit that we've been taught to be what something is. And if we can't investigate it ourselves, or do the science ourselves and the math and the numbers ourselves, how they say it, come up with the the absolute, like you say, the truth about some shit, then we need to let it be. It need to be. We need to leave it on some TBD, to be determined.
Yes, sir. I rock with that. Yes, sir. And that to be determined is based on our further investigation and study.
Indeed, so, brother. Instead of just talking about we got some shit, man, it's absolute, and then when someone questioning you for some shit, or ask you to provide some evidence about it, or where's the proof about some shit, and here you come with the old shenanigans. Nah, we got to move past that.
or you get frustrated. See, the thing is, my brother, we should be welcoming questions. Be so tight that I want somebody to ask me a question so I can further explain it to them.
Right.
That's what we want to do. We want to further explain it to them. Not just expect them to go back to their word, brother. Believe.
Right.
We want them to know emphatically. People say
That's
in the know. We want them in the know, brother. We don't want them to be believing nothing. We want them to know emphatically.
Right.
Because our people been walking around, brother, with beliefs, with our heads in the clouds, brother. At least as long as I've been here.
Yeah, it's still going on. These same beliefs is being they're being like shot up with mental steroids. People is coming up with new interpretations of these things these days, man. It's like, man, I don't know when will it ever stop, but but we got to do our part, man, in order to try to save the youth, bro. Like the mission is for the youth.
Making it more spooky, brother.
Yeah.
Making it more spooky by dropping the name. No name, brother. I mean, no name at all, brother. This mystical God with no name. And no text, no instructions, just wonder, just say go.
I told you the name of all the gods. The name of all the gods that these people serve, man, is not the name that they've been taught, man. The real name is the known unknown.
X, brother. X. The X is the unknown, brother. X.
Yeah. The known X and shit, bro. The known
X.
unknown, brother.
But the part with no instructions, with no instructions is crazy though, brother. No instructions, brother.
How the hell you come to a point where you know something, but you actually don't know?
Could you imagine, brother? When you out in the world, brother, that's wandering aimlessly, brother. That's what it is. Just wander aimlessly. That's again, as I said, new beliefs, brother. New beliefs. And they will always constantly come. Why? Because people don't realize when people come to them that they're being indoctrinated.
Right.
That's why. Especially when people want a sense of belonging. You know what I'm saying? Or they want to get away from something. And they want something new in their life. And somebody got a sharp tongue. Somebody sharp, brother, can pull it off. Because I've seen brothers real sharp, brother.
And it's like like we were speaking on the traditional aspect of it. It's like a tradition amongst our culture nowadays that it's like when someone is in the street, you know what I'm saying? It's like, like the drug addict or the alcoholic, the very sentiment of them wanting to change their ways is for them to get into AA or join a rehab, going to one of them joints. When it comes to anyone, it's a tradition, or it's like it's a very known fact that when one of us and our people want to change their life or get into their spiritual side of themselves, it's like a traditional thing to join the church or pick up a Bible, pick up a Quran. you see what I'm saying? It's tradition. You see what I'm saying? So people look at these things as if it's some type of benefit there But there is no benefit there because it was never founded off of a truth. It was always a created concept of the imagination of someone's mind. It was never the truth.
And it's a coping mechanism also.
Right.
It's a coping mechanism.
Because it was made for the one who is going to be who need to be getting through a coping part of their life.
Exactly. Escapism.
Dude, yeah, we got to do a part 2, bro. This just going to be deep, bro. It's deep.
But you know, we let me see how much we did. We got like almost halfway through, brother. So I'm gonna land this right here, brother. And we gotta chop it up. And whatever research you do, just tag me and say, yo, brother, check this out. Look into this, look into that. And then so we can be on the same accord. So we could just pull up and do a part 2 of this because it's important.
Man, that's a bet, bro. Say no more, bro. I'm gonna be I'll call you tomorrow and I'll start shooting you some information. I'll start shooting that to you part of the night. You probably won't get it until the morning because I'm gonna be up late. But yeah, I'm gonna start shooting you some information so you can have it bookmarked or save it in a certain folder. So you'll be able to share the screen when we do the presentation and shit. You'll be able to pull it up because I'm most likely ain't gonna be on the laptop.
Indeed. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, we definitely gotta pull up and do a part 2 of this, brother, because we gotta get our people, because we're not gonna be able to affect positive change, brother, if we're looking for anybody outside of ourselves to do it, bro. It's not gonna happen.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. Anybody telling us that we have to wait to do something, nah. I can understand that we need to organize and all that other stuff. I can understand that, but we would never do that if we are still indoctrinated, because you're gonna have some people telling us that we got to put it in other people's hands, in other entities' hands. And nah, brother, our condition is ours to get us out of, nobody else's. We can't see it no other way.
Right.
Yes, sir, my brother. I appreciate you coming up and listening to us with me. Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's been a pleasure listening to us, But goddamn shit, bro. Yeah, to the next one and shit, bro. Peace, man. I'm out, man. Peace to everyone that tapped in, man. Peace to everybody that's going to tap in on the replay, man. I'm out, bro.
Yes, sir. Peace,
brother. Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow, though, bro. Sometime tomorrow.
Yes, peace. Sir. Peace, brother. I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening. And my brother Greedy Vegan for coming up and chopping it up with me, my brother OTK for coming through. Milestone Thoughts, the brother Nate, P. Moses, Dre Cobb Music, Supreme Chief Holiday, Shawanda Williams, Big Dog, Philly OG, the Conrad Mouthpiece, the Conrad Maybach. Thank you all for coming through and hanging out with your brother. Peace and love to my wife, who's always watching and supporting the brother. Thank you all for coming through and hanging out in this rebroadcast of No More Indoctrination with the Comrade Greedy Vegan. Until next time, I leave you as I came before you in the greeting words of peace. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
TEP Production. giving out instructions. Yeah. I just keep it intact, this is a fact, right and exact, I won't step back. Admiration is the feeling that inspires your brain to make you gain self-knowledge, not go insane.